Good morning, world. How you doing, Cedric?
I'm doing great. Great.
You like your new hat?
I love my new hat. New Cedric and Brian merchandise.
Yeah. So we're working on some new clothing that will be available on Teespring soon. These hats, though, since they are embroidered, they are not available on Teespring. You can email us at cedricandbrian@gmail.com. Give us your size, or if you want a one-size-fits-all, and if you want some hats, just let us know. We'll let you know how much they are. You send us the money, we'll send you the hat.
If they can trust us to send us the money.
Yeah.
Send us your money first.
Send us the money.
And then we'll send you the hat.
And then we'll work on a store where you can get these. But right now, Teespring, they don't really have good hats like this. So this is actually Auto brand, so it's like a Flex Fit Auto. They're really nice hats. If you look at the back too, we've got our little flag on there. Show you pride. So my wife told me never to wear a hat like that. I'm not young enough.
Oh, we can't pull that off?
Cedric can. Okay. Cedric can pull it off.
Wow.
Because he's a POC.
You're a POS.
So we got a good quick show for you today. I found something on the internet. I heard it on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube. I don't know if it was originally a TikTok or what it was. It was obviously from a cell phone. And it was pretty humorous. I had to send it to Cedric.
And I owe Brian an apology, because sometimes we share information back and forth, and every once in a while he'll send me something. I'm like, you're making this up. This couldn't have actually happened.
But it happened.
It happened. It happened. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
Like I said earlier, sometimes Brian will send me stuff, and I'll send him stuff, and I look at it, and sometimes he'll send like a little caption, like, you can't make this stuff up. And as I start to listen to certain things, like the story we're going to talk about in a few minutes, I'm like, this cannot be happening. This can't be real.
We live in Southern California. Cedric didn't feel it, but we had a pretty good earthquake yesterday. It wasn't that high on the Richter scale, but it was kind of long, and I usually don't wake up, and it woke me up out of bed. I thought somebody was literally shaking my bed, and I thought, well, what else could happen, you know? We got hurricanes, we got plagues, we got riots in the streets, and now our condolences go out for Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
So we had a death of a Supreme Court justice, and it was a few days ago by the time you see this, and of course, I knew when that happened, oh boy, I knew that would add to the political fun that we've been
turmoil,
having anyways.
Yes.
So anyways, today we got a good story.
Out to her family.
Yes, definitely condolences. And she was a pioneer. Yeah. You know, however, she was actually one of her best friends on the Supreme Court was Justice Scalia. So it showed, this was back when two people on the opposite side of the aisle were really good friends. Their families hung out together, and that's how it should be. You can have debates, you can have disagreements, but you don't burn cities down over them.
Right.
So,
or delete someone from social media because you guys are in disagreement.
Yeah.
All right, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is let's let them watch it.
Okay.
And then we'll comment on it.
Okay.
So I'll give you a quick setup. A manager was confronted by a patron at a CVS store, and this is what unfolded, and then we'll talk about it.
May I ask, so I live in the neighborhood,
Sure.
And I have come to the CVS very often. May I ask why you called the police on those two men?
CVS policy dictates that if they're shoplifters, the exit store with merchandise unpaid for, you should get the police involved. And if the police apprehend them, you issue a warrant notice.
Okay.
So I actually did not elect the first charge. I said, hey, look, I just want them to know they can't come in here anymore because they're shoplifting, and I just need them to sign that, and I need my merchandise back. And the officers obliged, and the guy said the same thing, thank you, and they left.
It's not your merchandise, it's the store. So you know what happens when the black men or black people, and you decided to call the police on two black people that allegedly took something from the store because you're willing to uphold the policy, and they could have lost their lives.
So obviously the lady, the Karen, put her thumb over it.
Wait, where do you even start with this? First of all, she's involved in a situation that she has no business being involved in. This didn't even involve... Go in the store, get your toothpaste, your toothbrush, whatever you came to get.
Yeah.
Check out and leave.
And it sounded like it's just something she heard about. You know, she said, I heard that you did something.
Well, now that she said, okay, there are individuals that were shoplifting. And the manager, kudos to him, whoever this young man is, kudos to him. He said store policy is, now listen to this, store policy is when you are shoplifting, when you take something and you don't exchange currency for the item and you walk out of the store, that constitutes shoplifting. Yes. A young man who gets paid $25,000, $30,000 a year, that is not his job to apprehend the suspects. Yeah. You call the police, which he did. And I want you to correct me where I'm wrong.
No, everything's wrong. And then I love her comment was, it's not your store.
It's not your merchandise.
Yeah, it's not your merchandise. It's not your store. Well, he is the employee of that store, and I would hope that if I hired an employee, they would look out for my best interest.
They need to treat the merchandise as if it is their own.
Yeah. So, and this is what you see a lot on the left. It's like, well, that's like when they loot and burn things down. Well, they have insurance.
Oh my gosh.
This is what we're teaching our youth, people. Yeah. And this is the kind of thing. So then we go into that whole false narrative. And let's play it all the rest of the way out here. And then we'll talk about, again, what Cedric and I talked about last week about this whole thing. Everything is based on a false narrative. And it's feeding into this frenzy.
And they could have lost their lives.
We can agree to disagree on this because...
So if you didn't get that, because it kind of stuttered, but because he called the police on these shoplifters, because the shoplifters were black, they could have lost their lives, and that's.
And if they want to act a damn fool or some stolen gum or some potato chips, that's on them.
Yeah. And as what happened, and you heard her say, and you heard the manager say, the police came, they signed something, said they wouldn't come back in the store. And guess what? Everybody lived. Nobody died.
Yeah, he didn't press. He goes, I think the policeman asked him, do you want to press charges? He said, no.
No.
Just bad.
Yeah.
Don't come back in the store anymore.
When I was a kid, I shoplifted. They called the police. And in fact, they even did the whole scare tactic. They had me line up in the store, made it look like I was in a lineup because they were trying to scare kids to not do this because it's wrong. Mm-hmm. So hopefully these kids learn their lesson and don't. And because they didn't resist arrest, fight with the cops, everything was fine.
Because my question is, would it have been okay if they were white?
That's what I was going to say. Let's watch just the end of it. I know we're almost there.
I don't work for you, and I follow my company policy, not your policy, where I can appreciate your concern.
So you're willing to risk someone's life for what, $30,000 a year?
There was no risk, in my opinion. Thank you. You have a great night.
What is your name?
My name is Stormy.
No, what is his name?
No one's going to tell you my name when you're sitting here videotaping us so that you can try and elicit some sort of violence against me. It's not going to happen.
Elicit violence against you? You just elicited violence against two black men by calling the police on them.
We got to walk away. When one of them had a warrant, could have been arrested, and the cops still let him go.
Just listen to yourself. You work with black folks. You just remember that.
Oh no.
So, as you saw, one of the employees there was black.
POC.
I'm sorry, POC. So,
you know what's funny? Look at again. The poor black guy's like, this is so stupid. I'm going to go on my break.
And that's what I was going to say. I'm like, Cedric, as a POC, if you were standing there listening to this nonsense, what would you have done? I know he's a young kid, so he's not going to do it.
I would just look at lady, please stop arguing on behalf of me. Please stop. This is embarrassing. You stole from a store. You stole merchandise that wasn't yours. You didn't exchange currency for the object. You walked out of the store. Your life wasn't in danger. And
then the manager made a comment there who said one of them even had a warrant, but the police still let him go. That would not happen. Like I told you, the time that I spent the night in jail is because I had a warrant for a seatbelt ticket that I didn't know about. As a white guy, I went to jail for the night. So everything that this young lady said, again, is based on false narratives because she said twice that she put those kids in danger by having the police come. And because that's the narrative that the media keeps feeding, not just the media, LeBron James, the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, they all feed this false narrative that if you're black and you have an interaction with the police, that you're going to die.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we weren't there, obviously, so I'm sure the young man, was it two men or one young man?
It sounded like there might have been two.
Two. I'm sure they were embarrassed. But let's hypothetically say that the police showed up and they started acting crazy. They started acting stupid. And they said, we didn't steal anything, and started getting loud and started getting obnoxious and reaching into their shirt pocket. Then that whole story takes place. Oh no, 2 innocent black kids shot at the hands of the police over. I love that line in Jim Carrey's movie, Liar, Liar. Stop breaking the law.
Yeah. So
this is a damn shame. This is a damn shame.
So on so many levels, and we wanted to bring this up because this, and it's, I mean, it is the young lady's fault for buying into all this and involving herself in a situation she doesn't have any business being involved in. But this is what people are getting fed, and this is why you see people rioting in the street, because they think they're fighting a just cause.
Right.
When we brought the numbers up last week, what's that point? What'd you say? 0.00002. Yeah. So it just doesn't happen. In fact, more, and we say this every time, more white people get shot by the cops than black people. So this whole narrative, and I know you're going to say the percentages, but we've talked about this over and over again.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people do not get shot by cops. When they do, there's usually some extra situation,
confrontation ensues.
Like with Jacob Blake, who reached for a knife, with Breonna Taylor, who was in a house of a drug dealer, or she was part of the drug deal. So again, these kids, their lives were not at risk. They were kids shoplifting, which I did when I was a kid. I got in trouble and never did it again. Hopefully these kids don't do it again.
Yeah, hopefully they're scared straight.
Yeah, in fact, it might do them a disservice that the police, because of the situation right now, they might have let him go even if he had a warrant because of everything going on. These kids might do it again now because all they did is get a slap on the
That
face.
young man should get a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
I love when she said, "What's your name?" He said, "Store manager."
Yeah.
That's my name.
Because he knew he's being filmed and he sees what's going on in the world right now. If they find out his name and then the mob goes to his house and threatens him for doing his job, he was smart not giving his name. I'm sure she'll dig around and find his name. Hopefully nothing happens to him. But the whole situation is just getting out of control. It's getting worse. It's going to get worse until November. And guess what? I don't see it getting better after November because you have people like Hillary Clinton saying that Joe Biden, no matter if he gets beat by a landslide, should not concede the election.
Right.
So what do? Now we're going to just have a stalemate?
Well, Hillary's still fighting the loss in 2016.
I know. Well, when she said that, she reminded me of... what's her name? Baskin?
Oh, yeah.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
Look at those last two ads with Hillary Clinton. I swear it was Carol Baskin.
You know, Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances because I think this is going to drag out.
Anyway, we thought what do you guys think? I mean, this situation, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Do you really think this is something, the way that society should be going right now? And like Cedric said, if there were two white kids, she would have had no problem with the police taking them in.
Right.
Or the guy calling the police.
Right.
Because their lives weren't in danger.
Right. Oh, jeez, incredible. Well, we thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring the bell. And I've said this a lot. Make sure you go on Teespring if you want some Cedric and Brian gear, t-shirts, hats, mugs. It's all on Teespring.
But for these,
Not for these hats.
For these, you're going to have to email us, and then we'll get back to you. We'll work out all the logistics. We're in the process. I'm in the process of setting up a store on our website where you can buy it directly from there with your credit card. So I'm going to be working on that if we get enough interest.
Yes. Okay, we're done today. We're going to go outside and maybe have a drink and breathe in some of this nice California fire. But until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. We'll see you later.